I guess favorite thing was her humor. She was always happy.
She was always happy.
And so they drove up to this place. I looked at it and I said, this is it. And they said, well, that's what we were trying to tell you. So this is the best property that we got up here. So I bought it. And Jeff said, drill a well, see if we got water. So I had a well driller come in there and drilled a well and had good water. He said, let's build a house. So me and Brian took a motorcycle trip, and I asked Brian if I said, would you be interested in building a house? He said, I've got plans for a house and things. He said, yeah. So we made the deal, and he came up there and said, where you want it? And I said, well, we're gonna put it right here. You know, Jeff liked that, and I said, he ain't here. I said, if he don't like it, he can move it. And so we built a house.
What kind of work went into that?
A lot of work.
What kind of work did you guys end up doing?
We done all of it.
All of it.
Okay.
Everything we done up there. Me and Brian, he surveyed it out, laid it out, and then had to haul the concrete blocks up there in the cement. We poured cement for the footing, and put in concrete blocks, and then decked it, and then had the deck there, and it was only a 1/4 inch off level, one end of the oven, and then we started framing the house up, and got it framed up, and then he left, and then I sided it, put a hardy plank siding on it, and I sided the whole house by myself, and he sheetrocked it on the inside, and Jeff went and picked out some tile he wanted on the floor, so we put all the tile down, insulated underneath, all the walls and the ceiling.
Tell them how you insulated underneath. Putting the chicken wire up. What happened before then?
What happened before then? Well, we had the floor joists down there, and then we put the insulation in between the floor joists.
Weren't you injured though?
Huh?
Weren't you injured? Weren't you
No,
sick
I
or
was sick.
something?
I was sick. I ate at Golden Corral and got sick, and so I wasn't able to do much. So I laid on my back and put chicken wire up underneath the insulation in the house.
That'll hold it in place.
Huh?
That'll hold it in place.
Yeah,
Well,
I
he was
stapled
sick.
it all, and so then Brian came back and we roofed it, put metal roof. Well, we sheet plywood and then metal roof over the plywood. And he said that Jeff don't want you on the roof, so we got the roof done. And need a piece of the top, the gable end about 6 foot long. We didn't have, so he left, and I went and put it up myself.
So I've never been there, and obviously it's in the middle of nowhere. But
Right.
tell my kids what kind of driveway you've got to get out there.
4 miles, a dirt road.
4 miles.
It crosses Arroyo 12 times.
It crosses the what?
Arroyo.
What is that?
Which is like a ditch, comes down through there, the water.
Okay.
And when it rains, water comes down it. And there has been as much as 12 foot of water come down it.
4 mile driveway.
And I got a 4010 John Deere tractor with a turbo and a 7 foot full top box blade and a front end loader on it. That's what I keep it loaded on.
So if it rains hard enough, you've got to drive until you can't drive anymore, and then walk and get the tractor
Walk in, yeah.
and plow it all out.
Where do you sleep?
Hmm?
Where do you sleep?
What?
Where do you sleep?
Where do I sleep?
Yeah, when you go to the mountain house, where do you sleep?
I built me a little house up there, 8 by 16, and I got a little cheap burner stove in it, and so I sleep in it. And that's what we slept in while we were building the house.
Now, is this before the house was built,
Yeah,
or
before the house was built.
do you
Before-
still sleep there?
Yeah,
Okay, so
Yeah.
you got your own little
I got my own
shed.
little house up there.
Okay.
Have you ever slept one night in the house?
Nope. But we thought we were building a cabin, but we didn't. It wound up being a house.
Okay.
It's got everything just like it was in town.
I've seen pictures of it. It's wild looking. What kind of wildlife you have out there?
You
I
got
know
deer-
there's all kinds of
You
stuff.
got deer, elk, and bear, and jackrabbit, cottontail rabbit, squirrel,
I knew where he slept. I was like, I knew he had sleep there.
mountain lion, bear.
Love that little shack out there, no insulation.
A couple times I've been there.
And got some rattlesnakes.
All right.
Bad.
And it's 40 acres you said, or 80 acres?
No, I bought 40. We got 240 now.
Okay. 240.
Yeah.
And that's basically a whole mountain.
Well, it's
More than that.
200 acres is in 640 acre section, and then the other 40 acres is about a mile from it.
Okay. Is it all connected as one plot, or is there?
No,
Wind can
no.
come through.
Okay.
Most of it's pretty well connected, but
Burn you out.
that 140 is on down. But the road you come in has to go through that to get up there.
Okay.
And we're at the end of the road.
Is there anybody else that lives out there with you?
Not there. There's a guy that got a cabin that he comes out. He's an electrical contractor out of Albuquerque. He comes out sometimes on weekends and things.
Okay.
And then on across from him is a guy moved in from California, and he's building a house or having one built or whatever. He works on it sometimes, and sometimes he don't. And then another guy has got a house that's in a barn, old trucks and cars there, but his health is bad. And he raised 3 kids out there years ago, but now then why he lives in Albuquerque most of the time, and he's not too good of health. He comes out once in a while. So, but when it comes to rain, why if it's big rain that washes the road, I have to work on it, fill it in, and regrade it. But then after the rains and things, well, a lot of times, why you can grade the road and it stay good for a couple of months before you have to do anything.
Couple months, yeah. So now back to your other house in El Paso. How has the city of El Paso changed
So it's
in the 33 years that you've lived there? 'Cause
it's all doubled in area.
Okay. Now, has that always been a neighborhood that you lived in, or was it ever at one point just
It's
a couple
always
houses?
the neighborhood we lived in when we moved up. And it's still a pretty good neighborhood, but a lot of places that wasn't there, the road ends and things, now then the road goes on through and there's houses all over the place.
Okay. Being that close to Mexico, how is it easy to go and not speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Is it easy to live out there and not speak
Yeah,
Spanish,
yeah,
or is it becoming a challenge?
No, because most of the people out there is bilingual.
Okay.
Not very often.
So do you run into people that don't speak English
Oh, yeah.
that much, or?
Oh yeah, you run, a lot of people won't speak English. But a lot of your business people are bilingual, they speak both.
Because I guess El Paso overlooks Juarez, right?
Right, and when we first moved down there, El Paso was bigger than Juarez. Now then Juarez is about twice the size of El Paso.
Okay, yeah,
Because-
Juarez is.
Because NAFTA came in and so all the factories moved out of El Paso to Mexico because labor was cheaper.
Yeah.
So General Motors employs about 100,000 people in Juarez. Ford employs a bunch of people over there. Other companies employ people over there.
Okay.
So they come to the interior up there to work in the factories because they don't pay them much. They come over to El Paso and work a few hours, make more than they make up in a month over there.
I bet, yeah. So now I know Grandma did a lot of mission trips and stuff like that down
Right.
in Mexico. Did you ever go on any of them with her?
No.
Okay.
Now
I thought you did go to.
they was building a house or a school down in Santa Catalina in Mexico, down towards the Copper Canyon. And I'd go down there and help them on some of the wiring and things on that. And it was about about an 8-hour drive down there. But and most of the people down there was Tarahumara Indians that was working with. What Mexican is just Tarahumara Indians.
Okay.
And they lived in houses, no windows, no doors.
Little short people.
I always remember Mom told me about an Indian that lives somewhere out by the ranch by you guys.
Yeah, the Indian woman.
Does she still live there in the
No.
big teepee?
No,
Okay.
no, she didn't live in a teepee.
No, it was a house.
Was it?
Lived in a house, and asked her about her outhouse and things. Oh, we don't use one. I said, how you, and she said, I just set over Lowell.
Okay.
Yep. And I said, that works.
The way nature
Yeah,
intended.
that works. Mhm.
Yep.